Everybody, today we are going to talk about measures of central tendency. These are the main and easiest ways that we can analyze statistics. Measures of central tendency are just a way to summarize a set of data. So by summarizing a set of data, they help us find trends within that data and draw conclusions about that data. The three measures of central tendency are mean, median, and mode. Mean is also known as the average. And we calculate mean by adding up all the data values and dividing by the number of values. We'll see an example of this in a second. Median is the middle, and we calculate the median by putting the numbers in order from smallest to largest and finding the middle number. Where median can get tricky is if there's an even number of values, which means that there would be two middle numbers. If that's the case, we're going to find the mean of those two numbers, so find that average between those two numbers. The last measure of central tendency is mode. Mode just means most popular. So we find the data item that occurs the most times. Sometimes, if every single data item is unique, there will be no mode. If one data item occurs a bunch of times and every other one is unique, there will be one mode. And let's say every single data item, or let's say there's two data items that occur a bunch of times, then there'll be more than one mode. So the mode is the data item that occurs the most times. Now let's look at an example and practice calculating these. What are the mean, median, and mode of the bowling scores? So here are some bowling scores: 104, 117, 104, 136, 189, 109, 113, and 104. We'll start by finding the mean. So the mean is the average, which means we are going to add together all of these bowling scores and then divide by the number of scores. So we start by adding together 104, 117, 104, 136, 189, 109, 113, and 104. We add all of these together first, and then we divide by 8 because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different scores. This leaves us with an average of 122. Next, we're going to look at the median. The median is the middle value. So we're going to start by putting our scores in order from lowest to greatest. So 104, 104, 104, 109, 113, 117, 136, and 189. Now I'm going to count from both ends until I find my middle value. So 104 and 189, 104 and 136, 104 and 117. My middle value is somewhere between 109 and 113. Because I have an even set of numbers here, and there's no exact middle value, I need to find the mean of these two numbers. So I'm going to take 109 plus 113 and divide it by 2 because there's two values total. That gives me 111 as my median. Finally, I'm going to calculate the mode. The mode is the most popular value. If I look at this list, I notice that 104 occurs 3 times on this list. So 104 is our most popular value. It's our mode. There's a few other things that we need to be able to measure for measures of central tendency. Range is another number that tells us things about our data. It is the difference between the highest and lowest number in each data set. And we know that difference is a math word that means subtraction. So for example, here we can calculate the mean, median, and range of the data. Here we have a graph that shows the number of TVs per household. There's 2 households that have 1 TV, 4 households that have 2 TVs, 6 households that have 3 TVs, 4 households that have 4 TVs, and 2 households that have 5 TVs. To find the mean of this data, instead of listing 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, we created an expression that represents this. So there are 2 households with 1 TV, 4 households with 2 TVs, 6 households with 3 TVs, 4 households with 4 TVs, and 2 households with 5 TVs. And there are 18 households total. When we evaluate the numerator, we discover that there are 54 TVs total over 18 households. 54 divided by 18, oops, is 3, and that is our median. That is our mean. I'm so sorry. That's our mean. To find the median, we are going to list all of the number of TVs in order. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. If I work from the ends and find the middle number, I discover that my median is somewhere in between these two threes. I can use logic to know that 3 is the only number in between 3 and 3, or I can find the average of these two threes. 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 2, because there are 2 terms, is 3. Finally, I'm going to find the range. And the range, remember, is the difference between the highest and lowest number in each data set. So if the highest number in the data set is 5 and the lowest number is 1, our range will be 5 minus 1, or 4. The last thing that we're going to do when it comes to statistics is find a missing value. This is probably the most useful statistics problem that you will ever use in middle school or high school or in college. So your grades on 3 exams are an 80, a 93, and a 91. What grade do you need to have an average of 90 or an average of an A on the 4 exams? So you got an 80 on the first exam, a 93 on the second, and a 91. You want to have an A average. So what grade do you need to get? Well, the first thing that we are going to do is use the formula for mean. So we're going to add up the 4 exams and divide them by 4. So 80, 93, 91, and X, because we don't know what that 4th exam is, divided by 4, the number of exams. And we know that we want that average or that mean to be 90. The next thing that we're going to do is simplify the numerator. So that means we're going to add together 80 plus 93 plus 91, because these are like terms. That gives us 264 plus X over 4 equals 90. Then we can multiply each side by 4. So 264 plus X times 4 and 90 times 4. That removes the 4 from the denominator of this fraction and makes the right side of my equation equal to 360. Finally, I can subtract 264 and I get 96. So in order for this student to have an average of an A, they need to get a 96% on their next exam. Thank you for watching. Tune in for my next video, and I hope this was helpful.